So on Saturday, when we were talking about assessment, I wanted to have a quick look at Google Drive and see how that could go some distance to providing some excellent ways to assess your students as a whole group and provide some formative and meaningful feedback to that assessment very, very quickly, and to make things easy. But the browser wouldn't let me display it, so I thought I'd create a quick video showing you how to do it. All I've done here is I've logged into my Google Mail account, just to Gmail, but I've gone to my Google Drive, which is I think 2.5 gigabytes now or 5 gigabytes now of free storage space. So I have all sorts of files here. All I'm going to do right now is create a form, and this form is going to be a series of questions. Now, I can choose from a whole array of templates for that. I'm going to choose fish because, well, I like the idea of choosing fish. And so this is going to be homework 1. And so there I have homework 1. That's my titled form. I'm going to give it a description. Nice and easy. Then I'll ask a basic question. It's probably a good idea that your first question is, what is your name, so that you can track it. It will give you a timestamp, but it's not going to tell you that this student responded at this time. So you're sure you know who's responding. The first question should probably be their name, okay? And for help, we can put first and surname, please. So then that will be their answer. Then I can add a few items, and I can do multiple choice questions. And I can add some help text there, and then just go ahead and add my options. And then if I know that I don't have all the possible options there, I can add other. And again, I can make this a required question or allow it to be optional. And be aware, I mean, you can do a number of different things here. We can do a scale, so on a scale of 1 to 5, how much did you enjoy today's lesson? And that's a nice way to get feedback on whether something you did in a lesson went well. You could ask, you know, on a scale of 1 to 5, how well do you think we achieved the objectives of the session? So don't be afraid to do those sorts of things as well. So we'll just see what a scaled question looks like. Okay, on a scale of 1 to 5, how useful would this be in your lessons? 1, not at all. 5, amazing. And again, we can make that a required question. So then click Done. Now, once you've written all of your questions, you can still go back and edit them. You can see there's an edit box here. I haven't clicked Done on this one. But when you scroll over a question, all those forms come up. So we can edit. We can duplicate a question. So if we're going to ask several questions that have essentially the same format but different text, I can just duplicate them to save some time. Or I can delete a single question if I decide actually I don't like it or don't want to respond. So I can add and change the confirmation message. So when they hit submit, what message do they get? I can publish and show the link to results, which I may or may not want to do, and allow responders to edit responses after submitting, so they could go back in and change their answers. Now, once I've created that form, I have a number of things I can do. You can see nobody's responded yet. Now I'm going to choose a response destination that I want it to create a new spreadsheet when we get responses. So it will create a spreadsheet with essentially the same name, okay, homework 1, responses, so that I'll have actually 2 files in my Google Drive. I'll have the form and the spreadsheet, and I'll show you what it looks like. So we'll go to the live form. Here we are. So it's telling me your first homework assignment, this is a required question. Okay, the star means it's a required question. You can see these are all starred. So what is your name? Favorite color, we'll say orange. 2, and submit. So there we are. It says excellent work. I can go and submit another response. Now you can limit them so they can't submit more than one response. So we'll say my name is Mark James, just to have something different, and submit. Now you can also do short paragraph text, so they could actually have a more in-depth response. And right away here, back on the original form, you can see that there have been 2 responses, and I can look at those responses in a couple of different ways. So I can view them, and that just gives me the spreadsheet like this. So the responses come in this way. So I can sort them by name, I can sort them by answer on a particular question, or whatever. And if I come back again to that original form, I can even look at what's called the summary of responses, which gives me some analytics, really. It gives me a pie chart, a bar graph of my responses. And then I can get some feedback, so I can know right away, well, what did the class think of this lesson or this objective? Did they actually learn this material, or actually I need to go back and take another look at it? And so those are important feedback questions. Now coming back to that original form, you can see that in the top right and also at the bottom of the screen, there's a little send form button. Now that allows me to do it in a couple of different ways. I can email it out to my students or a whole group. I can share the link via Facebook or Twitter. I can even embed it onto a YouTube page. Now what we're going to do here, just because it ties into some of the other things that we've talked about, is I'm just going to Control-C and copy that link. And I'm going to go into QR code generator here, and I'm just going to paste the link there. And that gives me a QR code. So students could then scan that QR code, and it would take them right to my form on their mobile device, and they could complete the form right there. So there are a number of different ways that you can do that and get that out to students. But I love the fact that their answers automatically come in here in a spreadsheet, and I can do whatever I want with that spreadsheet to mark them and give them feedback. I hope you find this particularly useful, and if you've got any questions, feel free to let me know. My email address is mtinney@tresham.ac.uk. Thanks very much.